Hey, this is Random Rants Ryan. I'm Ryan, and I'm pissed off. Who are you? Democrats, Republicans. So the Republican Party, in all of its great wisdom and glory, has come out with this absolute joke of an Obamacare replacement plan.
You suck.
And it is just a total joke. It is going to fail. It might not even pass. You might not even get Republicans voting for this garbage, and certainly no Democrats are going to vote for it. The Republicans have politically, in their incredible wisdom, all right, just how the Democrats had a chance to do something substantial with health care. Instead, they got down on their knees, took healthcare insurance cock, stuck it in their mouth, took it deep down the back of their throats, and you got Obamacare, which is a blowjob for the insurance companies. This Republican bill is basically the same thing, amazingly. So incredibly incompetent. Do they not realize that they're going to be in the same position as the Dems here in 2 years and then 4 years? They're gonna get killed on this. You know, bite the bullet and write a goddamn decent piece of legislation, for fuck's sakes, and actually stand up for the American people and quit being corporatist hacks. This is 100% for the protection of the insurance companies. You can probably tell I'm a little bit pissed off about this, because insurance and banking, finance, it's called the FIRE division of the economy. It is parasitic in its very nature, and it is sort of anti-capitalist. It works as a private tax on the productive economy. It steals the wealth that we create as capitalists and as entrepreneurs and as workers and redistributes it to paper pushers, right? Insurance companies create nothing. Banks create nothing. Wall Street creates nothing. Hedge funds, nothing. Mutual funds, nothing. Bonds, nothing. They don't create anything. And yet, a huge sector of our economy, probably 30%, is going to pay these bastards to provide what? To provide nothing. Yeah, that's right. So, I get really fired up about this. You can probably tell. Let's go over to look at the damage done here on the damage report. This is over at Mike.com. It's just a summary of the goddamn worthless piece of crap legislation the Republicans are trying to pass. And let's pick it apart and laugh and cry. Okay, so here we have the basic summaries. High-level takeaways. The proposed healthcare law provides tax credits instead of federal subsidies to help health insurance costs. Okay, so that's basically a zero-sum game. They want to give people more choice with tax credits, although they look pretty minimal. $2,000 to $4,000 is pretty much nothing for a lot of people that are having health issues. Medicaid expansion would end in 2020, but those who gained insurance through Medicaid expansion prior to that will keep their coverage. This is an especially contentious issue for Republicans. Conservatives want Medicaid expansion repealed immediately, but Republican senators do not want anyone who gained insurance to now lose it. So they're walking this tightrope thing. See, they're basically trying to keep the same system, just like the Democrats did. They're trying to keep the same system and work within the system. You can't do that. The system sucks. You have to tear the whole building down and rebuild the damn thing. And this is why this is going to fail. You're either A, going to have too large of federal budgets going to health insurance or health costs, or you're because of insurance companies and runaway prices within the healthcare, or B, you're not going to have anybody covered. Those are your two options under the current system. Talk about a left-right paradigm. But it's not that simple. Federal money from Medicaid, which covers 70 million people, would be allocated to each state on a per-person basis. That would likely force states to try to pay the difference with money they don't have. So, like I said, you're in the same situation under the current system. Either A, cut people off of health insurance under this system of banker care we have, this banker-ran healthcare system. Cut people off of insurance, either public or private, or load the federal government up with tons of debt and force large deficits and force people onto the health insurance rolls. Those are your two options. Not very good options under the current system, are they? More quote-unquote highlights, maybe we should call them lowlights. Americans would no longer be mandated to purchase health insurance, okay? So instead of people who go more than 63 days without insurance would require to pay 30% surcharge on their premium. So if you quit with your health insurance for a while, you get stuck with a premium of 30%. So it's a penalty. And then the Republicans get super political here and commit political suicide in their great retardation. Planned Parenthood would be defunded. No federal funding is currently used to fund abortions per federal law, which I actually don't necessarily believe that's true, but anyways, so they're going to throw the whole baby out with the bathwater, a program called Planned Parenthood that's massively popular with the poor people. We'll just throw that under the bus. It roughly doubles when you can put in a health savings account. Okay, so it's going to double your health savings account ability. Individuals can now put $6,500 in a pre-tax health savings account. What does that do for the bottom 30% of us that make $30,000 a year, you dipshits? Half of the country makes less than $30,000 a year. How fucking incompetent are you people? You think people that are making $30,000 a year are putting $6,500 in their health savings account? Give me a break. What a joke. The bill maintains coverage for pre-existing conditions. That's good. The one good thing in this bill, they kept it from Obamacare, of course. And, of course, just when you think the Republicans will do something for the American people, nearly all the taxes associated with medical plans and devices instituted by the Affordable Care Act will be repealed. So all those high income tax rates on capital gains on those top earners that are often multimillionaires, yeah, they're going to get a nice little tax trim from this. Nice little tax trim. Isn't that cute? Furthermore, the plan notably does not include provisions to lower the cost of prescription drugs and sell insurance across state lines. So, the big two things that were supposed to drive the cost down for health insurance and health costs, prescription drug reform and the ability to sell insurance across state lines, aren't even in the bill. Wow. What do you know? So there you have it. Not a single one piece of legislation to push down prices. Not one that exists. Basically, what they're going to do is kick a whole bunch of people off insurance to deal with the federal budget issues, the deficits. Although it looks like the way they did it, they're not even going to deal with that because the CBO hasn't even scored it. And the CBO is probably going to score it at about the same as Obamacare or just a little less. Basically, it's not going to do anything. They have nothing in there to lower prices. Okay, there's three big ways to lower prices. Opening up markets for health insurance, or do what I suggest doing. Pass a law forcing health insurance companies to switch over to not-for-profits and regulate wages within those things and watch the money dump and pour into medical care. The pharmaceutical, that's not being addressed. Regulation isn't being addressed. I guess it's more than three. It's like 20 different things. The regulation isn't being addressed, a.k.a. You got to go to a primary doctor to go get a prescription for a UTI, ladies, or a yeast infection or something, when you can buy a UTI test at the dollar store and pee on it and know that you have a UTI. No, you got to go spend an hour and a half, 2 hours at the doctor's office to go pee on a strip so he can write you a prescription for your UTI. Regulations like that. Nothing on the education side. A lot of general education can be cut for nurses and doctors, saving them, hundreds of thousands of dollars in education fees throughout their careers. Nothing there. Of course, insurance companies aren't competing against state lines. Insurance through employers, why does that exist? Why not force every single insurance company to earn every single person's insurance shopping? If we're going to have an insurance-based system, which I think is obviously it's ineffective, we spend twice as much for healthcare and get far worse results. The health savings account. Now, the health savings account is a brilliant thing on the right wing that can push down prices in a certain sector of healthcare. Doctor's visits, small surgeries, certain levels of medications and treatments, within the $10,000 and lower range, things that are within that price. Health savings account would do great pushing prices down. Also, you have to force insurance medical providers to list their prices. Unfortunately, there's not really any expansion of that. You have an expansion of a ridiculous healthcare savings account system, which is a joke. There's a $6,500 limit on it. Like I said, half the population makes under $30,000. They're not going to be stashing away $6,000 a year on a health savings account. Sorry. That's a joke. So there's just so many things with this bill that are just it's a joke. It's a joke. This is Obama. We need to come up with a slogan for this. It's like it's Republican Obamacare or something. It's Republican Obamacare. That's what this is. Again, it's a sellout to insurance companies. It doesn't address any of the real issues. And I'm going to get on here and I'm going to write a video. I'm going to do a video up for our legislators. And I'm going to ask you to post it, okay, on their Twitter and on their Facebooks. I'll give them some real ideas on how to fix this thing. And I'm just a guy sitting in a basement that happens to read books on economics and listen to economic lectures. If you have a decent understanding of economics, you can figure this stuff out. So, Jesus, that was a long rant. Hit my subscribe button. Watch these other videos. And I hope you enjoyed.